What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I'm on the run, getting things done. Hope you guys are having a great day. I certainly am. It's been pretty darn good for me, and I just want to spread that good fortune to you guys, that positive energy. If you were having a bad day, I'm hoping that my voice is reaching you and you realize that it's not so bad after all, or it could be worse, or there's something that you can do that can make it just a little bit better. If you can do so, be hands-on, make that day better for yourself. But let's talk about these darn streaming apps, or Disney Plus specifically, man. And that's just, bro, look, y'all gotta be careful what your kids is watching, for real. I've seen all types of stuff that I just, if I had small children, I just wouldn't be okay with them watching. I seen some Transformers episode, no pun intended. There was a Transformers episode where the robot was talking about it was non-binary and it had such and such pronouns, and he, she, and or he, him, and she, her, just never felt right to it, and they, them feels right. I mean, this sort of stuff, and stuff that's very confusing to children. If you want to live this way, that's fine, but certain things children are just too young to comprehend. They're not able to unpack it. And this isn't the first. I've seen, just over the last few years especially, a few examples of this, and I just find it to be disturbing. If you're going to have your kids watching these different programs on different streaming services, my recommendation, honestly, is to watch a few episodes of it first, just to kind of feel it out and see if it's got the potential to have that sort of stuff. You may not get it right every time, but I personally believe that within the first episode or two, you can get an overall vibe of the people who made it, their intent behind making it, just what type of time that they own. And I think it's worth it so that your children are not exposed to this sort of stuff if that's not what you want. So be vigilant when it comes to this. Be unwavering, because for real, when I had when my son was really young, I was very adamant about looking at what he was watching, and this sort of stuff wasn't even a problem then, and I was still checking out these different cartoons because I wanted to know what the messaging was. And Disney has had their head up there behind and been so stubborn about this over the last 5 years, especially. They've been unwavering, unyielding until now. They've got some Pixar show that's coming to Disney Plus on February 19th. So we've got about just under another week and a half before it shows up. They were going to have this trans storyline for one of the characters. Now they're, to my understanding, I think they're like a baseball team or something. If I'm wrong, forgive me. But when I was hearing about this, I was just like, man, Disney, they just never stop. They won't stop, will they? Well, they're stopping with this. At the very least, they've decided, and they've made a statement about it. They've decided that trans storyline that was going to be in Win or Lose, they removed it. They said that they understand that there are parents who want to talk about this stuff with their children themselves and on their own time, their own timing. And I just was like, no shit. I mean, that's what people have been screaming at the top of their lungs over the last 5 years. Like, we don't want you teaching our children about this stuff before we feel like they're ready. And I found this to be crazy because Disney and even schools, the way they would just overstep their boundaries when it came to, just kind of, I don't want to say groom, but that's what it was feeling like. Their press to reach children with this, it was very frustrating because they were pushing so hard when it came to kids. And I just was like, I get it. I know why they're after kids so damn hard. You and we're a bit too stubborn and stuck in our ways. They have no way of convincing us of anything. We believe what we believe. We built how we built, and we're just not going to be swayed by any of this new talk. We're not going to change our mind. We're not going to change our position. But kids are a lot more moldable. Kids are a lot more, easy to influence. So if they just keep the press up and reach your children, they can just skip past you and reach your children by putting these messages in the colorful entertainment that they enjoy sitting down to watch. It's very manipulative when you think about it, that they take this stuff and they package it this way. I'm old enough to remember that Camel, the cigarette brand Camel, used to have a cartoon camel mascot. Yeah, that ages me, doesn't it? It used to have a cartoon camel mascot. This was many years ago. That went away because it was deemed to be encouraging children to smoke by it being in the form of a cartoon. So they changed that. It became a logo that was very, very plain, very photorealistic representation of a real camel, not a cartoon one anymore. And that was that. They never looked back. So it was so terrible to use cartoons to influence kids to smoke, but using cartoons to confuse kids about these subjects, things that they're just not mentally developed enough to tackle. That's totally fine. That's okay. And it seems like Disney, they were, in that statement, it just seemed like they were so proud of themselves for coming to the conclusion of removing this. And I say to you, why was this in there to begin with? This was a kid's show. People have been screaming about the fact that they don't want this stuff. You've tried so hard to force this stuff down our throats time after time after time. And the stuff always fails. I think that's one of the most just maddening things about it. Bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb. People were just not buying into this stuff, and they just kept trying to push it over and over and over. So I don't know about Disney. I still don't really trust them. They're scaling it back this time with this, but it's way too soon to start being like, yeah, Disney, we should trust them again. We should believe in them again. Gone are the days where you could just buy into Disney entertainment because it was always going to be good, or in most cases be good. Gone are the days of that. Most of the stuff that they throw out there nowadays is woke trash. I mean, last summer we happened to get 2 movies from them. What did we get? We got Deadpool and Wolverine, and was it Inside Out 2? So we happened to stumble across two wins from Disney, but I don't think they're ready, y'all. I think Disney's still on ABS. They not ready to give this stuff up just yet. So let me know what you guys think. You got small children, you're gonna have to curate the stuff that they consume, because too much of the stuff is out there, and they want to reach your children with it. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.